Netflix has just released a trailer for the third season of Monster. This season will follow murderer and grave robber Ed Gein, while season 1 was about Jeffrey Dahmer and season 2 about Eric and Lyle Menendez. The series has gathered quite a lot of controversy and criticism because it tends to showcase all these events, very real cases, from the perspective of the killer. And a lot of people saying, is it trying to get some sympathy or empathy towards these people who have been prosecuted and found guilty of these crimes? Jeffrey Dahmer, the season about Jeffrey Dahmer was very heavily criticized for this specific reason. And for some reason, Netflix branded it as LGBT content, which was, taking into consideration Jeffrey Dahmer's crimes, a pretty terrible mistake to make. Now, the trailer for season 3, the Ed Gein Story, already tries to paint him as a very tragic character. Again, I haven't seen it yet, so I can't judge. But from the trailer, I think it's going to be, again, asking for our sympathy for him, that he's a troubled young man who was driven to these actions by whatever tragedies in his past. And should we be making these? Should we be watching these? I mean, interestingly, in the trailer, Ed Gein, who's played by Charlie Hunnam, says, "You're the one that can't look away." And that's kind of true, isn't it? I mean, they wouldn't be making these series if we weren't watching these. The second season, the Lyle and Eric Menendez story, Lyle and Eric Menendez are very much still alive. So they released statements for it, and I think they were quite impressed by the performances and so on. But Eric Menendez was very disappointed by the events and how they were portrayed. There was also this kind of implication that the brothers had some kind of incestuous relationship, and that drew quite a lot of criticism. So where do we stand on this? This whole true crime kind of obsession that we have at the moment. We love watching these documentaries and then by extent these series. But what are the ethical implications of that? Should we be watching them? Should we be making them? And then whose perspective do we make them? Do we make them from the victims or the killers? And if we do it from the killer's point of view, why do we do it from their point of view? What do we gain from it? And how do we make sure that audiences get the full picture?